Okay, let's go over questions 59 and 60. But before I do that, I want to say the other questions, for whatever reason, didn't go up to YouTube. So you'll find all the questions from 49 to 58 on Schoology. There's a link there for you. Not sure what happened, but let's get going. So 59 and 60. So 59 is asking you to solve the system. And if you look at it, it is set up for elimination because it's in standard form, both equations. And you see how those x's are the same? One's positive, one's negative. So we're going to straight up add here. Yes, that cancels the x's, but again, we can solve for y. It'll go pretty easy. So I'm just going to go straight forward. It's not the only way. There is another way you can do it, but I'm just going to go straight right into it. So 3x plus negative 3x is 0. Negative 2y plus 4y would give me 2y. 5 plus 5 is 10. So therefore, if I divide by 2, y is equal to 5. Now that I know what y is, I can plug it back into either equation. I'll plug it back into the top one. This is now 3x minus 2 times 5 equal to 5. 3x minus 10 equal to 5. Add 10, add 10. And then I get 15. And you'll find that x is equal to 5. So there is another way you could have done it. If you wanted to, you could have canceled out the y's and then just solve straight up for the x. To do that, you just have to multiply that by positive 2, and then you'll get the same answer if you want to go that route. But for the sake of the video, I'm going to keep what I have here. It was just set up really nicely, and I'm just going to go straight forward and eliminate the x's. Okay? All right, moving on to 60. Solve the following system. Again, looking at it, the x's aren't the same, the y's are not the same, but I do notice that this one's negative. So if I can get this y to be positive 5, I can just add. So I'm going to multiply this entire thing by 5. This will become 10x here. Oh, there we go. 10x plus 5y equal to 5 times 20 is 100. So now I'm adding again because you have a negative 5y and a positive 5y. So 6 plus 10 is 16x. 12 plus 100 is 112. If I divide by 16, what does that give me? I want to say it's 12. I'm not sure. Let me pull up a calculator quick. So 112 divided by 16. No, I was way off. 7. So x equals 7. And now that I know x is equal to 7, I can plug that in for this x up here. So that would be 2 times 7 plus y is equal to 20. 2 times 7 is 14 plus y equal to 20. I need to get rid of the 14 by subtracting. So now I have a positive y on the left. I'll just leave it as 1y, and then you get 6. So our answer is y is 7. Sorry, x is 7, y is 6. There you go. So now let's move on to 3.1. So this one we went over in class, but I just want to go over it one more time. So this is asking you to write a system, create a system that has infinitely many solutions, or in other words, it's the exact same line. So if I look here, I notice that this equation and this equation are attached to the same line right there. You see how they're pointing at the same line. So if I literally write what you see, those two equations exactly as they're presented to you, that would be a system that if you solved, you get infinitely many solutions because they're the exact same line. So therefore, those two equations would give you infinitely many. The other one, right, system where it's no solution. Again, no solutions if they're parallel, and I notice that this line again is going to show up, and that line there is also parallel. So these two lines will give me no solution if I solve them. So this is 2x plus 2y equal to 4. That's the first line here. And the other one is, I'll just use 2x plus 2y equal to negative 6. So this one will have no solution graphically. You can see that. If you notice, you see how this has a 2x and plus 2y for both of them. If I did subtract here, you'll see that everything cancels and you're left with 0 is equal to, what is that, 4 minus negative 6. So that'd be positive, so that'd be 0 equal to 10, which is not true. So therefore, this is a no solution. Exactly what they wanted. So are you going to see a question like on that on the final? No, but the idea of what infinitely many solutions and what no solutions represent should be understood. Okay. Moving on, now we're looking at linear inequalities. Again, inequalities are not equal signs. We're talking about this little symbol here, even without the equal bar. So we're graphing those. So really, the big part about knowing what the equation is you have to find the slope and the y-intercept. Once you find those, then we're creating the equation, similar to what we would do if it was just an equation. But instead, we're going to put an inequality symbol there. So let's find the slope and the y-intercept. So I notice the y-intercept is going to happen on y. Here we go, drawing down. I see my y-intercept is going to be 0. And then let me look along this line, looking for nice points. And when I say nice points, I'm looking for vertical and horizontal. So like this would not be a nice point there. This one's not a nice one. This one is. So I can see it's going up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It goes up 5 and over 1, 2. So my slope is 5 over 2. So my equation would be y equals 5 over 2x. Y-intercept 0, so I don't have to write anything. And I have the line. But now how do I show the inequality? Because that's what the shaded part is. Well, if you look at the line, you should see that everything above the line is shaded. Or in other words, I want all y values that are greater than my line. So now I'm going to go to my equation and change it as an inequality. Since it's a solid line, that means we're going to keep the equal bar. But I want all y values that are greater than the line. Therefore, we're going to draw that inequality symbol to be opening to the y. And that right there would be your inequality. Okay? And that is it. So just to show you that same idea, again, let's jump down to the one right below it. This time we're going to write a system of inequalities. That means we have to write 2 of them. So again, I have to find the same thing, slope and y-intercept. So let me go with the first one. I see that this line here starts at 2, so your y-intercept is 2. The slope, again, I'm looking for nice points. Here we go. There's one right there. So my slope in this case is going to be up 1 and over 2. Okay, so that equation, which I'll put right here, it's going to be y equals 1/2 x plus 2. And I will also notice that this is a solid line, so it should have an equal bar. But notice everything below it is shaded. Maybe not this section, but if you look over here, this is below the line, right? Everything there would have been shaded if it was just the single line. But since there's 2 of them, this is the only region that works. And I notice that that region is below it. So that means I want all y values that are less than. Notice what I did there. Less than. We're not opening up to the y. We're not opening up, in a sense, to the other variables. So that's why it's opening to 1/2 x plus 2. So there's our first one. So let's do the next one, okay? So let's look, where is our, we need our slope and we need our y-intercept. I notice the y-intercept here is -1. Our slope, again, looking for nice points. Looking. Oh, right there. That's a good one. This is going down 2 and over 1, 2, 3. So the slope is down 2 and over 3. So let's write that equation. Y is going to equal -2 over 3x minus 1. Now, you should notice that the line is dotted so that we aren't going to have any equal bars. So I'm going to get rid of those equal bars. So again, I'm thinking of it like it is an equation, but since it's not a solid line, we can't have any equal bars. So I'm going to get rid of those. So now I need to figure out which way to put the inequality. Is it opening to y or is it opening away from y? So looking at that equation, I see everything's below. Do you see this line? Everything below that line or dashed line would be a solution. That means I want all y values that are less than y, so therefore it's going to open away from it. And there are your 2 inequalities, and there's your system of inequalities. Okay? So if I go to 66, for example, they've given it to us. Let's just graph it. So if I look at 66, I see y has to be greater than or equal to -x. I'm going to graph y equals -x. Notice I know my slope is -1. The y-intercept is 0. There's nothing there. So I'll start here. I'll go down 1 for every x, down 1 for every x, down 1 for every x, down 1 for every x. Notice the inequality has an equal bar, so therefore our line will be solid. Again, my line isn't very straight. But there's your first inequality. If we want to do a quick little shade just to help, that's fine. Since the y value has an inequality symbol opening to it, we would shade everything above it. So I'll just do a little shade there, but I'm not totally done with that yet. Okay, just to kind of show you where that would be. Now let's graph the next one. This one is going to start at, let me change colors. This one's starting at 1, so we're going to start at the y-intercept of 1. And then my slope is 4 over 3, so that means we're going to go up 1, 2, 3, 4, and over 1, 2, 3. Notice this inequality, it doesn't have an equal bar, no equal bar, so therefore this is a dashed line. Okay, and then we would look at the shading part. This is saying everything less than my line, so we'd shade everything here and below it. So hopefully you can see right away where we're going to shade, but if not, let's backtrack for a second. Let me shade the blue one more time. The first equation was I want all y values that are greater than that line, so above, so we would shade above. The other one, if I were to shade that, I want all y values that are less than that line, so we would shade below the red. The region that works for both is where the shading intersects, so therefore it would be, I'll put it in purple, because red and blue make purple, everything here. And that would be your system. That's where all the solutions would be. So if there's any coordinate that was in there, that would be a solution. If it's on the line, it would be a solution. If it's on the dashed line, it's not a solution because dash means it cannot equal it. Okay? And so let's quickly do the last few. I'm trying to keep this within 15 minutes. To graph this one, I'm just going to find the x and y intercept. Or better yet, you can just solve for y by minusing 2x over. You get 3y is less than -6 minus 2x. Divide by 3, divide by 3. Y has to be less than, was that -2? -2 over 3x. I rewrote it. Don't have to flip any inequality. So then I go to -2, going down 2 over 3. It's a dashed line. And this is saying I want all y values that are less than the line, so I shade everything below. And that's it. Okay, that's all that one would be. I went through that really quick, but again, all you're doing is rearranging the equation so that way y is alone, because all of the problems we did before was they were easier to think about when it was y equals or y with the inequality symbol. Okay, last two questions on the review. So these, they're asking you to identify which of the following are a solution to the system of linear inequalities. So if we take a look at this coordinate 2, 2, if I were to go to x is 2, y is 2, it would be right here. Notice that point is not in the shaded region, and the shaded region is where our solutions work for both, so therefore that is not a solution. Let's go to B, 2, 3, so I go to x is 2, y is 3. This one's on the line, and that line is solid, so therefore this would be a solution. We're good. Let's go to the next one. X is 0, y is 2, so I go to x is 0, y is 2. This one is on the line, but do you see how the line is dashed? Therefore, this one is not a solution because the dashed line says it can't equal that line. Okay, so therefore that is not a solution. And then 0, -1, I go to x is 0, y is -1. It is on the line, but again, it's not in the shaded region, so this one does not work. So the only answer would be this point right here, 2, 3. So that works really nice with the visual, but what if we didn't have the graph? How can we check? Well, we can plug in and see if it works for the system. So that's what 68 is. They've given you a system of inequalities, and now we're just going to plug in x and y and see if it works for both. So for the first one, if I plug 0 in for x and 0 in for y, you get 2 times 0 greater than or equal to 0, which is true because 0 equals 0. So it works for that first one. But for the second one, if I plug in 0 for x and 0 for y, you get 0 minus 0, which is 0, and 0 is not greater than 1. So therefore, this does not work. Okay? So the first corner point did not work. So now let's try B. X is 4, y is 2. I'll plug that in. This is 2 times 2, which is greater than or equal to 4. That's true because 2 times 2 is 4, so it does work for the first one. But if I plug it into the next one and see what happens, 4 minus 2 is 2, which is greater than 1. So it works. So we know this one is a solution because it worked for both inequalities. That's exciting. Let's go to C. Let's try this one. So x is 2, y is 1. So I plug in 1 for 2, 1 for y, 2 for x. Notice we get 2 times 1, which is 2. Is 2 greater than or equal to 2? Yes. So it works for the first one. But then the next one, this is a little tricky. 2 minus 1 is 1, but 1 is not greater than itself, so this one does not work, so that one's out. And finally, in the last few seconds we have, if I replace 1 for x, 2 for y, 2 times 2, is that greater than or equal to 1? Yes, but then for the second one, you get 1 minus 2. this is -1, and that is not a solution. So the only one is